My dearly beloved, we are gathered here today to celebrate the It's not today. All right, real speech now. Distinguished members of the faculty, honored guests, family, friends, and my dear classmates. I wish to say welcome and thank you for bestowing this honor upon me as your graduation speaker. After months of secret negotiations, several hundred secret ballots, and a weekend retreat with Dr. Thani at a secret mountain bunker, the graduation speaker was chosen. And it was me. You've obviously made a great error, but it's too late now, so let's just get on with it. Before I venture any further, I would like to take this opportunity to thank those of you who are here in support of the 2008 graduates. Not for your being here today, but for being there every day for the last 4 years. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Without your thankful support, we could not have made it to this very special stage today. From the very bottom of my heart, once again, I say thank you. When I sat down and thought about giving this speech, I felt that I would benefit from a little guidance. Obviously, my very first choice was our very own in-house Director of Counseling and Advising, Miss Tatum. Miss Lewis? Miss Clark. Lewis Tatum. Lewis Clark Tatum. You know what, I'm just going to move on to my second option. Who better to ask for help on this speech than our choice for most accessible, Dr. Lewis Williams. His door, as always, was open, wearing his signature navy suit with button-down shirt and tie, which no doubt Miss Williams picked out. He was busy grading functional group analysis projects. As I knocked on the door frame, he immediately looked up and gave his now patented greeting. "Now, Thani, how can I help you?" After all these years, he still calls me Thani. But I don't mind one bit. After I relayed to him my dilemma of writing this speech, he came back with more vintage Williams. "Well, Thani, it's all in the structure. You see what I mean?" And I was like, I don't know what you're talking about. So he went to the chalkboard in his office and drew a square for the introduction, a square for the body, and a square for the conclusion. And he pointed to the drawing with a chiral center, I might add. See, there you go. You got it right there. I looked at that drawing and I realized it was painfully obvious. Simplicity is the answer. I said, "Dr. Williams, absolutely." I thanked him for his time, and with a renewed sense of energy, I went on writing my speech. We've all been together for 4 long, hard years. I've often commented, it was really hard to get into pharmacy school. But you know what? It was probably harder getting out. As we're about to leave the College of Pharmacy, I'd like to look back at the last 4 years and pick out a couple of memories that we can probably all share and relate with. I remember opening up my acceptance letter from the College of Pharmacy and crying when I saw the words, "Congratulations, you have been selected." I remember how proud I felt wearing my white coat to sleep that night of the white coat ceremony. I remember Dr. Hussein and all the stories he would tell us in the middle of lecture about how his wife would pick out pink shirts for him to wear. At the end, he would enjoy a little laugh to himself. We didn't really know what to do. I remember Dr. Gupta giving us exam review by saying, "If you can't answer a simple question, you don't deserve to be making $100,000. That was a classic. I remember functional group analysis with Dr. Sharif. Is it soluble in acid or base? I remember Dr. Pedamonte and those mysterious phospholipid. I still don't know what those are. I remember Dino here on this very stage at the white coat ceremony. "Welcome to the College of Pharmacy. Over the last 5 minutes since you have been here, we have hired 10 new faculty members." That was very exciting. And no first first year rendition is complete without International Day and how delicious all the food was. Second year, I remember fleeing from Hurricane Rita in the middle of kinetics. I also remember having to make up all those missed classes due to Hurricane Rita. I remember managing it with Dr. McCormick. Enough said. I remember meeting friends at local speakeasies after difficult exams. I remember taking all those multiple choice exams and thinking, if I ever become a professor, I'm going to submit a motion to outlaw this cruel and unusual punishment. I remember Rena and John sending out all those drug card quiz charts so that people like me could pass those drug card quizzes. I remember thinking, Dr. Hatfield and Dr. Simpson, pretty awesome. Third year, I remember everyone having to reestablish their seats in the new building. Anyone that's been around our class for any length of time knows that switching seats is heavily frowned upon. I remember Susan being in her second or third pregnancy and wondering if someday she could have her own basketball team. I remember sitting in the first therapeutics lecture and thinking, I don't know what these guys are complaining about, this isn't too bad. Then I also remember the exam, after the first exam thinking, oh my God, is this that bad? I remember having to take off my shirt for physical assessment to show off my guns. But realizing they looked like, more like water guns compared to I remember taking my very last multiple choice exam and then falling down the last few flights of stairs as I tried to run out of the building in sheer joy. Fourth and final year. I remember getting off the plane in Sitka, Alaska and saying, thank you, Dr. Hammond. I remember looking down at my rotation schedule and thinking, holy cow, I don't know anything. How am I supposed to deal with critical care? I don't know, it's going to be a long day. I remember cheering up a patient, oddly enough, named Luke on rotations by saying, I am a pharmacist. I remember an ER physician thanking me after I made a medication recommendation that might have helped save a patient's life. I remember fielding calls at the Poison Control Center where people would call in and say, I have eaten my dog's food. And my dog has eaten my food. What do I do? During these last few weeks, I'll also remember setting my wake-up alarm for 9:58 so that I could watch Price is Right at 10 o'clock. And best of all, I remember the last on-campus day when all that was left was graduation. Over the last 4 years, the world has changed a great deal. Disasters such as hurricanes, tsunamis, Britney Spears, and Medicare Part D has changed the nation. The pharmacy world will continue to evolve, with many of us here today serving as future directors of pharmacy, professors, and clinical specialists. As we stand here today as PharmD class, we are all equals. I, along with 26 other members of our class, have chosen to sign up for another year of punishment and are about to enter a residency program. What are we thinking? I recently read that 1/100th of 1% of the population attain a doctoral level of education. That is something to be proud of. I also read that 64% of all stats are made up. We also have with us today graduating the PhD students that have invested in more time and more money into becoming future pioneers into the future of dosage forms and drug delivery systems that we've never even heard of. As you set off into the world, don't be afraid to ask questions. But don't ask too many questions, or one that is too hard. Your superiors might get angry with you. Whichever direction you decide to go, I hope that you all enjoy the highest level of success. I couldn't be prouder of such a diverse group of individuals, colleagues, and mostly friends. I'd like to close by stealing some lyrics from the band Incubus. In 1999, they released the song, Make Yourself, and I would like to steal some lines from that song. If you let them make you, they'll make you paper mache. At a distance, you're strong until the wind comes. Then you'll crumble and blow away. But if you really want to live, why not try and make yourself? Thank you for this honor and happy Mother's Day.